Tonight, I'm taking you to a small town in Tennessee, to a school where an entire class vanished without a trace, leaving behind whispers of something unnatural. This is the mysterious class that disappeared, a true school horror story, and it's going to grip you from the first bell to the final, haunting silence. I first stumbled across this story while digging through old newspaper archives for my channel, searching for cases that felt raw, untouched by Hollywood's gloss. A faded article from 1978 mentioned a school in Dunlap, Tennessee, and a fourth-grade class that disappeared under mysterious circumstances. The details were scarce, the story buried, but the words sent a shiver through me. I chased every lead, local records, Reddit threads, even interviews with Dunlap residents, until I pieced together a tale that's as terrifying as it is true. Dunlap is a quiet town in Sequatchie County, nestled in a valley surrounded by dense forests and limestone cliffs. In the 1970s, it was a close-knit community, the kind where everyone knew your business, and Griffith Elementary was its heart, a single-story brick building where generations learned their ABCs. But in the fall of 1977, something happened there that no one could explain, something that still haunts the town today. Let's go back to September 1977, when Griffith Elementary was bustling with 300 students, their voices echoing through the halls. The fourth-grade class, room 12, was taught by Miss Evelyn Harper, a 42-year-old teacher known for her strict rules and warm smile. She had 24 students, a mix of farmers, kids, and townies, all 9 and 10 years old, with names like Tommy, Sarah, and Billy etched into desks. Room 12 was at the end of the west wing, its windows facing a wooded area that locals called the Hollow, a tangle of pines and underbrush where kids were forbidden to play. The class was normal at first. Spelling tests, recess games, the usual chaos of childhood. But as autumn settled in, things began to change. It started small, easy to dismiss. Evelyn noticed her chalkboard eraser missing, only to find it later, covered in dirt, as if it had been outside. Students complained of cold spots in the classroom, their breath visible despite the radiator's hum. Sarah, a shy girl with pigtails, told Evelyn she heard whispering during silent reading, soft voices saying her name from the back of the room. Evelyn checked, finding nothing but empty desks, though the air felt heavy, like a storm was brewing. Other kids reported strange things, pencils rolling off tables, books flipping open on their own, their pages marked with smudges like fingerprints. Tommy, a class clown, swore he saw a shadow, tall and thin, standing by the coat rack, but when he pointed, it was gone. Evelyn, a practical woman, blamed overactive imaginations and the chilly October weather. She'd taught at Griffith for 15 years, weathering every kind of prank, but this felt different. She started locking room 12 at night, double-checking the windows, yet the disturbances grew. One morning, she found the classroom in disarray. Desks pushed against the walls, chairs stacked in a pyramid, as if someone had been there after hours. The janitor, Mr. Willis, swore he'd locked up tight. Parents began to talk. Billy's mum said he had nightmares about the man in the woods, waking up screaming. Sarah stopped speaking, her eyes glassy, clutching a drawing of a figure with no face. Evelyn reported it to the principal, Mr. Dawson, who promised to investigate, but he found no signs of a break-in, just an uneasy feeling in room 12. By November, the class was unraveling. Students were jumpy, their grades slipping. Evelyn noticed they avoided the back corner, near the windows overlooking the hollow. One boy, Jimmy, said he saw a face in the glass, pale and eyeless, watching them during math. Evelyn taped butcher paper over the windows, hoping to calm them. But the whispering grew louder, now heard by the whole class, a chorus of voices, muttering words no one could catch. At recess, the kids stuck together, refusing to go near the woods, claiming they saw movement, branches swaying with no wind, shadows darting between trees. Other teachers noticed it too. Room 12's students were different, pale, quiet, like they carried a weight no child should. On November 17th, 1977, the unthinkable happened. It was a Thursday, crisp and clear, the kind of day made for field trips. Evelyn had planned a nature walk in the school's backfield, a half-mile from the hollow, to collect leaves for a science project. At 10 a.m., she led her 24 students out, each carrying a paper bag, their chatter muted but present. Mr. Dawson saw them leave, waving from his office. Another teacher, Mrs. Klein, was in the field with her third graders, about 200 yards away. She later swore she saw Evelyn's class heading toward the tree line, their red and blue jackets bright against the grass. Then a fog rolled in, thick and sudden, swallowing the field. Mrs. Klein called her students back, alarmed by the weather. But when the fog lifted 10 minutes later, room 12 was gone. Panic set in. Mrs. Klein alerted Dawson, who rallied the staff. They searched the field, the woods, the school grounds, shouting names: Tommy, Sarah, Billy, Evelyn. Nothing. No bags, no footprints, no trace. The police were called, and by noon, a search party of 50 officers, parents, volunteers combed the area. Dogs were brought in, but they refused to enter the hollow, whimpering, their tails low. Helicopters scanned from above, spotting only trees and the glint of the Sequatchie River. The town was in chaos, parents sobbing, neighbors whispering about curses. By nightfall, with no sign of the class, the FBI arrived, treating it as a mass kidnapping, though no ransom notes or suspects emerged. The search continued for weeks. Divers scoured the river. Volunteers hacked through the hollow, finding only an eerie silence. No birds, no animals, just the crunch of leaves. A student's jacket, Sarah's, was found near the woods, torn and stained with a black, tar-like substance that baffled forensics. Evelyn's purse, left in room 12, held her keys and a note. Keep them away from the windows. The classroom itself became a focal point. Officers reported feeling watched, their radios cutting to static inside. Mr. Willis, the janitor, quit after hearing laughter, childlike but hollow, coming from the room at night. The school closed for a month, parents refusing to send their kids back. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some blamed a predator, though no evidence supported it. The class had vanished in broad daylight, with witnesses nearby. Others pointed to the hollow, citing local legends of a watcher, a spirit tied to the Lenape who guarded the land, punishing intruders. Old-timers recalled a 1920s incident when a farmer's family disappeared near the same woods, their cabin found empty, their Bible open to a passage about judgment. A few whispered about room 12 itself, claiming it was built over an unmarked grave, disturbed during construction. The town's preacher, Reverend Holt, held a vigil, but even he admitted the disappearance felt unnatural, like God had turned away. In December, a paranormal investigator, Dr. Helen Price, arrived from Nashville. Price, a former psychologist, had studied haunted sites across the South. She spent a night in room 12, armed with an EMF meter and a tape recorder. Her findings, published in a 1978 journal, were chilling. The EMF spiked in the back corner, near the windows, though no wires ran there. Her recorder captured voices, children's voices, faint, saying, "Help us," and a deeper tone, growling, "Mine." Price felt a hand on her shoulder, cold and firm, but turned to find no one. She left at dawn, warning the school to seal the room. Griffith complied, boarding up room 12, reassigning its classes, though students avoided the West Wing, claiming they heard scratching behind the walls. The case went cold, but Dunlap never forgot. In 1980, a hiker found a child's shoe in the hollow, matching the brand Billy wore, though it was pristine, untouched by weather. In 1995, a teacher, Mrs. Tate, reported seeing a girl in a pigtail dress, Sarah, standing in the school parking lot at dusk, vanishing when approached. By the 2000s, Griffith Elementary was struggling, its enrollment down, its reputation tainted. The school was demolished in 2010, replaced by a community center. But the West Wing's foundation remains, overgrown with weeds. Locals say the hollow is quieter now, but drivers avoid the road nearby, claiming they see children's faces in their headlights, fleeting and pale. I've pored over every detail: the 1978 article, Price's journal, interviews with Dunlap residents. I visited the site last year, standing where room 12 once was, the air thick with a silence that felt alive. A retired cop, Officer Daniels, told me he searched the hollow in '77, his flashlight failing, his partner swearing he heard laughter. "We didn't find them," he said, "but something found us." The mysterious class that disappeared is more than a mystery. It's a wound, a reminder that some places hold their secrets too tightly. So what's in your school? What's watching from the windows? Stay safe.